Hi again, everybody. I've been wanting to make another video. In fact, I've been wanting to make a few videos this weekend, and hopefully I get around to doing so. I'll start with this one. Yeah, I hope I get around to the others. Uni seems to get in the way all the time and always gives me very little time for making videos, but I still managed to fit them in somehow. So yes, this is just going to be a quick one about language learning. For those of you who need a little bit of inspiration. For those of you who are already involved in language learning or would like to be, and can't seem to find, you don't think you can do it, or you're having problems or whatever, or you're trying to find motivation. This is just something to make you think a little bit. A few months ago, I found this article about, well, I was actually looking up polyglots and multilinguals and things like that. And I found this article on a multilingual person named Mezzofanti. Mezzofanti, that's Mezzofanti. And he was an Italian priest, or cardinal, I think. And I was reading about him, and he was a polyglot. And he spoke 38 languages perfectly. Perfectly. This is 38 languages. All different kinds of languages. And that doesn't include the other languages that he spoke. Not as well, but he still spoke them. It's just amazing to hear this. This was a few hundred years ago, 1700s or 1800s, I think. I'm not sure. And he was a cardinal. And by the age of 23, I think he was professor of Arabic and Semitic languages. So Semitic meaning Arabic, Hebrew, Maltese, Aramaic, Amharic, those kind of languages. So he was a professor of that by the age of 23. And I think also he studied Oriental languages and mastered them very well. Very easily, I should say. So yeah, he's got about 38 languages on his list, on his perfect list. So here we go. Let's have a look. So obviously, being Italian as he was, he would have spoken Italian and his own dialect. So he was from Bologna, so he would have spoken Bolognese, along with Latin and Greek. These languages are important in the church, and Hebrew, obviously. So yeah, Arabic, Hebrew, and we've just got a list here. It's so hard to believe, but it's true, and it's been written about. And so languages, from biblical Hebrew to Persian to Arabic to Turkish to Albanian, French, Italian, Portuguese, German, Swedish, Danish, Dutch, English, Illyrian, Russian, Polish, Czech, Hungarian or Magyar, and Chinese. All these very different languages. He studied all these different languages and mastered them. And I think the most remarkable thing about this is that he never left his country, so he never left Italy. I don't know how he did it, but he did it. And I mean, he would have studied every day, would have found people to help him, and books and resources and things, which is another thing. I mean, in those days there wouldn't have been as many resources, and he wouldn't have had as many foreigners in Italy as there would be now. So, very interesting. And I mean, this is an extreme example of, very, excuse me, should I say, yeah, it's just an extreme example of language learning and language proficiency, I should say. So we can't all be like this, but definitely give us some sort of hope that it's possible to learn multiple languages, definitely. So yeah, that's something to think about. Definitely one of my favourite polyglots that I've read about in history. So I'm not an expert on him, if you want to know more, do a Google search or a YouTube search or whatever. So Mezzofanti, Mezzofanti. That's his surname. So look him up. So he was an Italian cardinal who never left Italy, who spoke about 50 or 60 languages and mastered 38 of them. So yeah, very interesting story. So I'll leave you there, and I'll see you hopefully in the next video. Thanks very much.